Welcome to the weekly Health RX by Arvasi. I'm Dr. Avanti Kumar Singh.
And I'm Dr. Tanmeet Sethi. We're physicians trained in modern medicine and experts in Ayurveda. And each Sunday, we cut through the noise with physician-led, science-backed prescriptions personalized to your biology.
From your hormones and gut to your circadian rhythm and nervous system, we'll help you take care of the systems that matter most so you can stop guessing and start feeling better. Finally, medicine that fits you. Hello and welcome. This is your weekly Health RX for the week of November 23rd. I'm Dr. Avanti Kumar Singh.
And I'm Dr. Tanmeet Sethi. And this is it. We're in the last week of November. So this is peak Vata season. We've been talking about this all fall. We're in cold, dry, and chaos. And literally, October started us off, November's been intensifying, and now this final week is like the peak. And here's the thing, when Vata is at its peak in the environment around us, you're going to feel it in your nervous system, no matter who you are, because all movement in your body is aggravated when Vata is aggravated in nature, and your nervous system is a seat for Vata energy. So you may find that you're more easily overstimulated, more reactive, and then put in Thanksgiving week if you're in the US, and it's all chaos because family's either coming or you're traveling or you're alone or you've lost someone or there's anxiety around the holidays for many reasons. So this is really a hard week. And I know you really want to enjoy it and not just survive it. So that's what we're going to get into today.
Yeah, I am so feeling everything that you just said, with the cold weather here in Chicago, and suddenly it got really, really cold in the last few days. I'm just not ready for it.
Oh my gosh, I saw it was snowing.
I know, it was. And it's like so cold. We went from summer to winter, I feel like. And, then I'm hosting Thanksgiving at my house. Plus, my daughter just got engaged, so we're having a party for her. So, I am feeling all of these things of just a lot of increased Vata. Even though I'm Pitta Kapha, I'm feeling this in a major way. And it's definitely my nervous system that is really heightened and on alert right now.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And I love that the examples you gave, because they're all like fun, good examples, right? But they're causing you stress. And I think the research here is super interesting because if we really look at it, there are studies that show that cortisol, which is our main stress hormone, is different in different seasons. And this really aligns with the wisdom of Ayurveda, because what studies show is that in late fall, where we are now, when it's cold, dry, possibly windy, which aggravates Vata even more, your baseline cortisol is 15 to 20% higher than in mild weather, not just from stress, but from the weather. And I love when the science catches up with wisdom, right?
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Like before you even worry about grocery lists or hosting or traveling, your stress hormones are already elevated. And studies show that in colder weather, the same stressor can take longer to get over. So cortisol spikes don't come back down as quickly. And so what we have is a nervous system that's more reactive, longer to calm down, and then we add on all the holiday stress. It's pure chaos.
Yeah, the holiday stress research is really interesting too. But I think that weather research you just talked about is so interesting. But let's talk about the holiday stress, because there's been a lot of research. The American Psychological Association has done some studies, and what they found is that during holidays, 38% of people self-report that they feel increased stress. And the main causes are all the things we talked about: family dynamics, financial pressure, lack of time. But here's what's really interesting about this study. They also measured cortisol in these people that were preparing for family gatherings versus on regular days. And what they found was that cortisol was elevated for 3 to 4 hours before the gathering even started. So just anticipating these events activates the nervous system, which I think is what we all feel, but it's so cool that the science actually shows that that's really real, what we're feeling.
Yeah, it feels like the study sees me. But,
Exactly.
it just makes me feel more normal, right? Because that really makes sense. We have all this accumulated Vata energy from the fall. We're more reactive and it's really hard for us to manage. And so this week, we're really talking about that physiology of the stress response and what you can do to manage it. Because if we look at what's happening in your body, right, it's not just the stress in the moment. It's what the stress does when it's allowed to just keep going and going. Because, your sympathetic nervous system will activate immediately with anxiety, with a triggering comment, or if you have grief surfacing. And so all of that happens within seconds. You probably feel it. Your heart rate goes up, your breath gets more shallow, you get all tense, my jaw clenches. I literally get TMJ like within minutes. And then, these stress hormones flood your system. But it's not just that physiology you're feeling in the moment. That causes a cascade of effects. The cortisol increases your blood sugar, which makes sense because you need energy to fight the threat. That's what your body thinks. It suppresses the digestion, which is not a good idea, by the way, if we're getting into a big holiday feast. And the adrenaline is just speeding up our heart rate. And all of this is really helpful if you're actually facing a lion or a threat.
Right.
But it's less helpful when we're hosting a gathering or dealing with a family dynamic. And so you have this critical window, in those first minute to two when stress hits where you can make a difference. You can pattern interrupt and think of it like an activation wave of stress. And you really can redirect it when it's small in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's really what the prescription this week is all about, right? It's to really give you a tool that you can use in the moment, an intervention, right? That when you are feeling this stress response, you can catch it really early. Okay. So here's what we want all of you to do, which is extended exhale breathing. It's really simple, it's really powerful, and it's good for all doshas, anybody who's in this kind of reactive mode. What you're going to do is you're going to inhale for 4 counts and then exhale for 6 to 8 counts. Now, the key really is not the numbers. We're just giving you some examples. The key is to make your exhale longer than your inhale. A lot longer. And keep doing this for 2 to 3 minutes until you feel like a shift into sort of this relaxation response. What this is doing, the exhale being longer, that actually activates the vagus nerve, the parasympathetic nervous system. And so that is, the main nerve of your relaxation response. And so this directly affects that whole system. And what you'll feel is that within a few minutes, you'll shift into relaxation. Your heart rate will go down, your blood pressure will drop, your respiratory rate will drop, right? Your cortisol levels actually will begin to fall. That's not something you can see, but you can actually feel it, right? There's actually research that shows that, extending the exhale activates the parasympathetic nervous system within minutes, which is exactly what we're talking about. So again, there's research that shows that a simple breath practice is really powerful for shifting your physiology. Another study showed that just 3 minutes of this type of breathing, extended exhale breathing, reduced cortisol by almost 20%, significantly decreasing reported stress levels. So again, you are really, really affecting your physiology with this simple practice. And really, you can use this, practice anytime that you feel that activation wave starting to build. Don't wait. Just do it. Go somewhere private, outside, in the car, in the bathroom, in a bedroom, wherever you can, or, just right there at the dinner table. And you just need a couple breaths to get this going. So I think it's really, really important.
That. Yeah, I think the thing is that it sounds too simple. So sometimes people don't trust that it will help. And I've never ceased to be astonished with patients and myself how fast and useful this can be in the moment. And we forget to do it because we're all tense and stressed. And what I love is that you're saying, let's catch it in the beginning before that cascade of effects really happens, right? And so, you can do this, like Avanti said, in a private area, but you can also just do it right there, right then, wherever you are. So really just focusing on that lengthening of the exhale as compared to the inhale. That's it. Anytime the wave builds, multiple times a day if you need to, but we really want to focus on getting our parasympathetic nervous system activated instead of our fight or flight mode. And this is really, I know sounds too easy, but I swear to you, it will help you in the moment. And honestly, what we need in the moment for now in this accumulated Vata energy season is this kind of rescue medicine, this kind of medicine in the moment. We talked a lot about preventive medicine in October. And right now we're talking about what to do when you need it.
Yeah, actually another application of this, my children are not children, they're adults in their 20s. Yeah. And they tell me that they use this technique like in class, in a social setting, because no one knows that they're even doing it, but it just shifts them into this relaxation state right away. So, it's Zane and Isha approved of a technique that really works. So, you really can use it at any time when you're feeling really anxious or activated.
Yeah, I love that. And this technique works for everyone, but each dosha, all of you are different doshas, and you all respond to this peak Vata season a little differently. And so we have specific additions based on how your dosha gets activated. And so that would mean the extended exhale breathing plus your specific dosha element to make it even more effective. So if you haven't taken the dosha data assessment, now's the time, because knowing your dosha means knowing exactly what you need for your nervous system. So you can go to mayurvasi.com and just take the assessment. It only takes 5 to 7 minutes, and you can get your personalized weekly health RX. If you've already taken it and you're listening already to your personalized feed, perfect. Let's talk about what this means for you and your dosha.
Thanks for listening to the Weekly Health RX by Arvasi. Be sure to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen so you never miss your weekly prescription.
And make sure to take the Arvasi Dosha Data Assessment at myarvasi.com, linked in the show notes, so you can unlock your biology and get your own personalized weekly prescription.